A blockbuster trade is imminent in the Major League Baseball circle, and the big domino has fallen in the offseason. Juan Soto has signed with the New York Mets, and a lot of teams are looking to pivot, and this guy doesn't really scream Plan B. He may be on an equal playing field as Soto, so we'll break down that and much more on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Welcome in, everybody, to 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to be breaking down the trade rumors and the trade reports surrounding Kyle Tucker, one of the most underrated players in the game of baseball today, and this guy is phenomenal. I spoke about him being not really a step down from Juan Soto, and I truly mean that. This guy is a five-tool player, can do it all out there, but he is an impending free agent, and he does cost a lot on the open market, so take that as you may. But the Houston Astros are asking for a haul, and a lot of teams may not be willing to give that up. But before we get into the video, I want to let you know that a large percentage of you who are watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So go ahead and hit that sub button. It'd mean the world to me because we're super close to my goal of 2,000 subscribers, and you guys have been killing it with the support. But let's just get straight into it here. According to folks I trust, it will be a surprise if the Astros don't trade Kyle Tucker within 48 hours. The Cubs appear like clear favorites until a deal is done. Keep an eye on the Yankees, but Cubs were better positioned, still waiting on other sources to call back. And the Cubs and Astros are still negotiating through a trade for Kyle Tucker. And while the Yankees have serious interest in Tucker, there are a lot of questions about whether Jim Crane would approve a trade that would make his biggest competition for a pennant better in 2025. Now, again, take that as you may, but I find myself hard pressed to believe that the Yankees and Astros would be willing to work out a trade, especially for one of the premier players in the game of baseball. And there's no doubt that Kyle Tucker is one of the best players in the game. When he's healthy, you're going to be hard-pressed to find 10 better players in the game today. I mean, the guy had a 993 OPS last year. He had 23 home runs, but the clincher was only that he played 78 games, which is a big issue, especially for a guy who is an impending free agent. You could see he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year 2025. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't get the screenshots centered over there, but yes, he will be a free agent after this next season that is coming up. So you have 1 year of Kyle Tucker. This is a move that you make when you're going all in. So he's a fantastic player, no doubting that. He was pretty much healthy every single game for the years prior to this, but 78 games the year before he's eligible to become a free agent, that could be a little bit scary for some teams that are looking to get this guy. And the Chicago Cubs are going to have to give up a ton of assets, and I don't know if bringing in Kyle Tucker is going to be enough to get them over the hump. Like, this is a team that struggles immensely. They are incredibly mid, as you know, the younger generation likes to say today. They are mid. They are a mid-tier team. They are not a team that is one or two pieces away. They need a lot more help where that came from. So Kyle Tucker is a great piece. And it would be fantastic to see him in a Cubs uniform, and I think he would fit perfectly with that organization. And who knows, maybe they even re-sign him. But you're mortgaging your farm, which is, again, kind of mid-tier, not one of the best in baseball, but not one of the worst, for a guy that might leave you high and dry after a season where you probably don't even make the playoffs. The NL Central's not great, so there's definitely going to be a chance for them and an opening for them to make the playoffs. But I don't know if Kyle Tucker, he definitely moves the needle, don't get me wrong on that front, but I'm not sure if he is enough for the Chicago Cubs, and I don't think Juan Soto would have been enough. I don't know if Shohei Ohtani would have been enough. Maybe Shohei would have been enough, but Kyle Tucker is an elite player in the game. Like I mentioned, if he's healthy, you're going to be hard-pressed to find 10 better players in Major League Baseball for me, and it truly depends on what you value, but the guy can field at an elite level. He hits for power. He's got great speed. He's a stolen base threat. And again, he walks as well. He had an on-base percentage of over 400 last year and an OPS nearing 1,000. So there's no doubting his talent. He is a five-tool player, which the Yankees should be all over. They can get it done. They can mortgage their farm for 1 year of Kyle Tucker. I think that makes sense. Then again, you look at what happened with Juan Soto and him leaving after 1 year. They also mortgaged their farm a little bit for Soto. It ended up not working out. It was great, sold tickets, sold jerseys as well, got them to the World Series, but I'm sure that they would have loved to keep him in the Bronx. It ultimately wasn't meant to be. We know Soto is a Met now. So the Yankees are definitely a team to be eyeing in on these Kyle Tucker sweepstakes, as well as the Chicago Cubs. And by all accounts, the Cubs are favorites by this report right here from Jose De Jesus Ortiz, who was a former BBWAA writer, so Baseball Writers Association. Again, I don't really know this guy, haven't heard too much about him, but seems to be a credible source, has gotten some things right in the past. Kyle Tucker is an elite player. I'd love for my Blue Jays to go out and get him, but I'm not sure if the price tag is justified. After coming off an injury-riddled season, again, 78 games, he produced at a level that most guys don't produce in 200-plus games in the big league. So there's no doubting his talent, but I'd be a little bit cautious if I'm trading for a guy who only played not in half of the games in the season. Half of the games. So it's a risky proposition, especially for a team like the Cubs, who I believe need a lot more help where that came from. Kyle Tucker, great player. He is not Jesus Christ reincarnated. He's not going to bring this team to the promised land. So a lot of things need to shake up for Chicago. A lot of things need to shake up for the Yankees as well. But their rotation is looking really nice. I don't know if they have the necessary pieces, and I don't know, again, if the Astros are going to be willing to spark a deal with the Yankees. It may not make sense for them, and why would they help out a rival? Why would they help out a team that they're actively pursuing and trying to beat in their pursuit of a World Series? Now, you could argue that if they do trade away Kyle Tucker, they're probably not a World Series contender anymore, and as it stands at the moment, I don't think they're a World Series contender, but they're signifying a shift in culture and a change of direction if they are trading away one of the premier players in baseball. But let me know in the comments down below, where do you think Kyle Tucker is going to get traded to, and do you think it's going to happen, or is this all just a smokescreen by Jose De Jesus Ortiz? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all next week.